Hello, Bill. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It's very kind of you.
I'm delighted to be with you, Graham. Thank you for having me.
Now, here's the thing. Writers rarely announce they are retiring. I mean, clearly you didn't. But, I mean, you did announce it, but now you're back. So, did you ever retire? Was it really...
Yeah, no, I did absolutely retire. And I was most reluctant, I don't mind telling you, to take this project on initially because I didn't want to go back on my retirement. I loved being retired. And I can't wait to return to being retired after this is over. So I kind of just temporarily came out of retirement as an experiment. Really, really enjoyed doing it. I mean, I really, really enjoyed doing it. But also, it made me realize that what I really, really enjoy is being retired. So I'm happy to have done this, but now I want to go back to being retired and sleeping and drinking and gardening and not having to do anything that involves thinking or working.
Okay, look, let's talk about books. The book that turned you on to reading, and, judging by your parents, your lineage of journalists, presumably it was a house full of books.
Yeah, there was. That was my dad had a lot of middle-brow books, and I remember one of the great delights for me when I was like 12 years old and 13 years old was discovering all these hardback books that were on the bookshelves in our living room. It seemed to me just an enormous choice, and I would take books down off the shelves, not knowing whether they were classics or, had no idea what a lot of these books were. And the particular book that I always remember that really, really enchanted me, got me into reading, was a book called Lost Horizon by James Hilton, which is the book that gave the world Shangri-La, and it's all about this group of people who are sort of end up in this valley, this kind of paradisical valley in the Himalayas. And it was the first book I ever read cover to cover. When I was about 13, one summer evening, I just stayed up all night reading it. And I was absolutely smitten with it. I reread it again not long ago, and it wasn't nearly as good an experience as I recalled. It's perhaps sometimes better not to go back and reread the books that were really influential to you when you were 13 or 14 years old. But it was the book that got me, that captivated me in a way that got me for life as a reader.
But also, I think it's rare that there's such a direct line between a book that you loved and something you ended up doing. That you ended up traveling and going to kind of out-of-the-way places and all of that. I
mean, I was always a sucker for the big wide world. I mean, believe me, grow up in Iowa and you really want to go out and see something different than cornfields. And, what I very clearly remember from my early life was my father also subscribed to National Geographic, and every month we would get these magazines that showed all the world as this technicolor place where it was just drenched in color, and it didn't matter whether it was France or Burma or Senegal. Every place just looked more kind of vibrant and alive and rich than what I saw outside my own window.
Yeah,
and that filled me with this really intense desire to go out and see the world.
Well, thank you for sharing those books and talking to us. And I'll let you get back to retirement. I don't believe it.
No, honestly, it's true.
I don't think you're fooling anyone.